Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Shout Out Saturday. We're here for another episode of the Thrive Tribe Saturday Shout Out, and I'm really excited to have, I'm going to call her my cousin. I think we're cousins, right? This is my husband's cousin, which is my cousin, Lindsay, on the show today. So welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Lindsay has a fascinating life. She has done all kinds of interesting things. So you just sit tight, grab some popcorn, and get ready. We're going to find some things out. So, Lindsay, tell us a little bit about yourself personally.
Okay, personally, I was born in Scottsdale, Arizona originally. And then I moved to California, Southern California, when I was 15. And I lived there for 21 years. And now I'm back living in Arizona. Been here for a year and a half. It's been an adjustment. I miss the beach so much. And this heat is a killer, like no joke. Don't ever move to Arizona, people. It's true. But we came back because my husband's family is here. I have family here still, my mom, my aunts, my cousins, and so forth. And also we have a 3.5-year-old son, and we thought it'd also be a good place to raise a family. And actually it's been great. My son has been thriving here, and he really loves Arizona. So even though it's been a little bit harder for me, it is a little bit slower, not so much hustle and bustle, crazy traffic. I mean, honestly, I've never experienced traffic here in Arizona, so that's a big deal. I mean, wow, literally, I can leave at 4:30 on a Friday and still make it home, in the carpool with my son the same amount of time. So it's kind of nice. That's the one good thing. So yeah, and right now, currently, I'm just a stay-at-home mom with my son, which I feel so fortunate to be able to do that. He is at preschool now, so it gives me a little bit of free time to get things done. On the side, I do actually do a little bit of work. I teach fitness classes now. I teach bar classes and hip hop and contemporary and all kinds of fun stuff to adults, which is great. And then on the side, I also teach music class to kids, 0 to 5 years old. And I love that because I started taking Carter to these classes. It's a program called Music Together when he was really young, and he loved it. And then now I'm a teacher, so I really enjoy every moment of that working with kids. So
what kind of things do you do in the music class?
So pretty much so the program Music Together is an international program, and each session, so there's 4 sessions throughout the year, everyone around the world does the exact same set of songs. So it's like a songbook you have, and so everyone learns the same music. And then, for instance, if you were to go to Switzerland per se, you could then go to a class and have the exact same songs that you were doing back home be in that classroom, and you'd be able to participate. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow. So I'll have to look for a link and put that in the comments so we can check that out.
It's such an amazing program. What it entails is that it's that the program, everyone is musical. I mean, every child is musical, and everyone, a lot of people think that they're not, but if they're given basic music competency when they're younger, then they can then become huge musical, just individuals, which is great, just as long as they've got music early on in their life. Because I believe after 5, what the program says is that it's harder to then become, musical competent after that. So anyways, we play music in class. We do a lot of movement. It's a lot of focus play, kind of messing around with the kids, and they love it, like peekaboo and stuff. And it's just a way for children to explore music the way they want to. And every child is different. Some kids are very focused and do what the teacher says, and other kids run around the whole time and they're crazy, but they still are taking that in. And we don't have any rules there, which is great. And kids can kind of just have fun and take it as they want. So, yeah.
Wow, that sounds really cool. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You started in school having a strong interest in dance and song. Can you tell us a little bit about that part of your life?
Yeah, sure. So I started dancing when I was super young, probably about 5. And I quickly just fell right into it. I loved it. And I took to it really, really well. And I ended up being a competitive dancer for many, many years. I was at the studio 6 to 7 days a week. I was definitely one of those studio kids, and it was my life. I loved every part of it. And I did that all the way to 14. And then when I went to high school, when I moved to California, I then joined the song leading team, which is dancing with poms. So a lot of people like, pom-poms. A lot of people are like, oh, you're a cheerleader, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of like, also I went on to be a Laker girl and Clipper girl for the NBA. And people think, oh, cheerleaders, but we don't do any stunting. It's pretty much dancing. But they categorize us as cheerleaders because sometimes we use poms, sometimes we don't. But anyways, so that's song leading. And so, so I did it in college as well. I was on the UCLA dance team, the UCLA All-Star dance team. And then, like I said, I did the Los Angeles Clippers Spirit dance team while I was in college, junior and senior year. And then I went on to do the Los Angeles Lakers for one season as well. So, and then after that, I'm sorry, I'll keep going because I feel now but this is like, it's funny because now this is not my life at all, but it's okay. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna own it. I then went on to dance professionally for a while. I was in a group called the Perfect Angels. We traveled the world. I mean, we went to Iraq and Kuwait. I got to perform for the troops 2 separate times, one time in 2007, once in 2010. And that was an experience that will change my life forever, or has changed my life for forever. It was really amazing to be able to bring a little bit of home to the troops. And afterwards we perform, we would sign a, photo card for every single individual troop and take a picture with them. And just the appreciation that they had for us was amazing. So I'm so glad I was able to do that. I was able to also dance in some movies. I was in Iron Man 2, which was really fun as one of the Ironette dancers. And I've also been in a lot of commercials. I was even in a Kmart commercial when I was pregnant as a dancer, which is fun. Yes, we were dancing with pregnant bellies. And I was on America's Got Talent with this group as well, the Perfect Angels, which was really awesome. And I actually had a lot of fun. I believe I did professional dancing until I was about 34, until I had my son. So that's my dance background.
And now you're bringing that gift to others.
Yes, exactly.
So many questions I want to ask around that.
Sure.
The first question, I guess, if there would be, hold on, I just got a pop on my screen. Okay. If there would be a parent watching, because I'm not sure we have too many kids watching the Thrive Tribe, but a parent who has a child that's interested in dance, for example. And sometimes people say, oh, that's fine, but you need to take something serious because of college or, but there are careers that you can do in dance. So what would you say to parents who have a kid that could be 5 years old or 15 years old who love to dance? What are some ways that they could look at possible careers or, careers in dancing?
Yeah, well, it's crazy to see the dance industry now. You guys have seen those shows out there, So You Think You Can Dance, World of Dance. The talent is out of this world. Way beyond the way I could dance. It's unbelievable, the talent out there. It is very competitive these days. The competitions are super intense. The studios are requiring even more hours. And if you do want to go down that road, it's definitely a commitment. But it can definitely benefit later on in life. As a career, you can become a dance teacher like me. Although I teach dance to adults, you can teach dance to kids as well. There's also, if you were going to go the professional dancer route, you can do that, but that is a dog-eat-dog world. It is not easy, even just in acting as well. There's just a lot of competition, like we've said. But then you can also be a consultant as a dancer. Dancing and cheerleading does go hand in hand. There's a lot of opportunities to be cheer coaches. There's a lot of opportunities to be involved in dance at schools, in the arts programs, and spreading that joy and love of the arts by being a dance teacher at schools. And there's so many. It's really amazing. I will say though, it's not that lucrative, but you can still at least do what you love. I will say that I went to college and I started out as a dance major. And then I realized that being in college and getting a degree in dance would not help me get those dance jobs. So I ended up changing my degree to sociology, and I decided to get my degree, my undergrad, in something a little bit more academic because I could still be a dancer without having that degree. So I think that's important. A lot of people in dance, they're like, oh, I want to be a dancer. They don't go to college. And then what if that doesn't work out? That can be a little difficult. So I was very fortunate that dance did work out for me, but I knew that I had that, kind of backup, my undergrad in sociology. So you kind of got to figure out what's best for you.
Well, and I think that's good. I think back, I don't think I've ever shared this, but a long time ago, when I was a teenager, I wanted to be an actress. And
you did? I love it.
I did want to be an actress. And I, got little jobs. I worked at K-Rock. I worked
Awesome.
in Los Angeles, and just behind the scenes kind of thing. I was an extra in a few movies. But then it hit me like, what if this doesn't work? I should have a plan B. So I got my degree in psychology, and I sort of put all that acting like on hold, thinking I'll go back to that later someday. And I never have gone back, but I could do, in retirement, I could do community theater. But I
absolutely.
But still the love of acting has come into everything that I do now, and the psychology really helps. So
yeah.
I have a backup plan. I wanted to ask you too, just about some moments of your dance career as a Clipper and Laker girl, and then I want to talk about the performing for the Soldiers a little bit more too. So, what would you say is a highlight from your days as a Laker girl or?
I really loved performing at the games. It was just so amazing. And especially being in LA, I mean, the crowd was amazing. You see a lot of celebrities. It's pretty cool to be like, I was performing and I'm, have eye contact with, what's his name? Nicholas. No. Oh my gosh, Jack Nicholson. Oh my God. Look at that, right? I'm such a dork. Jack Nicholson. I'm like, I was going to say Nicolas Cage. I'm like, no, that's not right. Yeah, Jack Nicholson. I mean, that was pretty amazing. And, and actually when I did Clippers, Lamar Odom was on the team. And then when I went to Lakers, he then switched to Lamar. And he then switched to Clippers. I'm sorry, Lakers. Gosh, I can't get it straight. Clippers to Lakers. Anyways, it was cool because, he always would call me Red because I had red hair, and he'd be like, hey, what's up, Red? It was just really cool to have this like community that, people could never like think to have. And I was like saying hi to Denzel Washington and saying hey to Lamar Odom. I mean, Kobe Bryant was, a member of the team still. I mean, like, that's such an incredible experience to have. And I'll always just remember and cherish those times. And I mean, it's a very difficult, competitive thing to be a Laker girl. I mean, 600 girls try out and then only 20 make it. So I felt so privileged and amazing to have that opportunity for sure. So just everything about it, just the prestige of it was number one for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
You mentioned this a little bit already, but going to Iraq with the Angels and, what's something that just stood out to you besides their appreciation for you, but just about being in Iraq with soldiers in, that kind of environment?
Well, it's funny because you think going over there, you're going to see all these older men. It was babies. I mean, it was 18-year-olds there, and I just couldn't believe it. When I went over the first time, I was 27. I mean, I felt old compared to these guys. And it's just so crazy to think that, all these young men and women, when they're graduate from high school, they join the army or they join the military and they then get shipped out to Iraq. And like, gosh, that really hit hard because you just, you just don't realize how young they are. And they're so sweet. And, they would call us ma'am. And it's just the reality of, there is a war, not a war, but I mean, there's problems that need to be solved. And, thank God we have these people from the United States that want to give up their time and serve. But at the same time, I just can't believe it's just these little guys and these little girls going over there to do it for us. But, I give them props for doing it for their country for sure. So anyways, that was what really hit me hardest, is that how young they were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to boost your own well-being? Besides dance, I'm sure dance.
yeah, of course. I know. Yeah, that's kind of not fair. Yeah, I think a big part of my life now is dance and fitness. And I'm so lucky that I can have that in my life. It's lucky that it's my job, so that I'm forced to do it, but I feel amazing after I work out. Another thing that really boosts my well-being is being with my son. And, my son is 3.5 years old. He's super fun right now. I really love enjoying going to the beach when we visit California, going swimming, going to Legoland and all these things, and experiencing just the joy and all the fun that he has and everything that he sees and he takes in. It's so great to kind of relive that and find that beauty in life, and trying not to take those moments for granted, because it's so easy to do that. We get so stuck in our devices and stuff, but sometimes it's like we got to put it down and focus, be present in what's happening now, because my son is growing up so fast and I don't want to miss any moment. So that right there, I feel like, is making me a better person, a better mom, for just everyone around me, for sure.
And I love that. And what do you think, just to kind of follow that, what do you think boosts his well-being?
For us, being present, honestly. I think that by me taking him to all these places and experiencing, instead of just being home watching TV and doing the same thing over and over, is just trying new things all the time. I'm like, let's go to the zoo today. Let's go to Legoland. Let's go to the park. Although it's hotter than heck, you can't go to the park for the next few months. But we're going to be in California this weekend, and I'll tell you, we can be at the park or beach every single day, because I think that's what really boosts his well-being, is just getting out of this and the TV screens and stuff, and actually getting into nature and playing that way and using his imagination, for sure.
I love that. I think that it's very easy to give kids a device and say, here, play with this. But we're losing a lot of that learning relationship,
Absolutely.
How to interact. Okay, so a couple random questions. Where did I go?
Sure.
If they were to make a movie of your life, who would you want to play you? And would the movie be a comedy, a romantic comedy, an action film, a drama? Tell us about that.
That's kind of fun. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play this 2 ways, okay?
Okay.
So this is crazy. My husband has always compared me to this actress, and I do not see it, but I'll take it because she's beautiful. He's always been like, you look like Eva Mendes to me. And I was like, Eva Mendes? But no. But I do not see it, okay? She's Latin. Like, okay, so thank you, honey, for making me feel beautiful. But so if I was to say, Eva Mendes was going to play me, I would make it like a romantic type, movie about my life, okay? Or so, like very exciting and thrilling, and I don't know. I see her like being in like a thriller of some sort. So, anyways, that would be that side, and then the other side, maybe like a Mila Kunis, because I think she's adorable, and that would be more of like a comedic movie of my life, for sure, because I think she could play it off real well. So they're the two sides, for sure.
Right. If you had a time machine that could only work one time, it could take you somewhere and bring you back, that's it, one time. It could either go in the future or in the past.
Yeah.
Where would you want to visit and why?
Wow. Where would I want to visit and why? Okay, this is going to be super deep, but this is the first thing that popped into my head, so I'm just going to go with it. If I could go back in time, I would like to go see the Twin Towers before they went down. I feel like I see them in old movies and stuff, and they just look like they're such incredible buildings. So I'd love to be able to see it, and appreciate it before I knew they would be going down, obviously, on 9/11. I know it's deep, and I'm not, but that's the thing that pops in my head.
I mean, that's a great answer. I think it's good. So another question that I ask everyone, and everyone has had such great answers, no pressure, and don't don't overthink. Just think of the first thing that pops into your head today.
Okay.
So if you were to teach the world just one thing, and the world needs to know a lot, but if you were to teach them just one thing and they were to learn one lesson from Lindsay, what would you want to teach the world?
This is one thing I have to remind myself every day, and I am very guilty of this, is I am not present enough. It's to be present in life, because we're all just trying to figure out what's next. Like what's coming up. I've got this on my schedule. I got this plan, da, 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 da. But really, I feel like I've missed a lot because I was always on to the next thing. I'm in Paris and then I'm wondering what the next trip is. I'm at China, at the Big Wall of China, and I'm taking so many pictures to get that perfect shot instead of taking it in. Really like, wow, this is an amazing experience. So this weekend we went and saw the Grand Canyon. This is the first time I've ever seen it. And I really just tried to just be there and experience it. I mean, if this is one of the wonders of the world, and that's one thing I need to tell everyone, is just be present. Just enjoy the moments, enjoy what's happening right then instead of what's going to happen, because life is going to be over and you're going to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we spend a lot of time in worry about the future and in kind of lamenting about the past, right? And neither one does as much good. So yeah, that's a great thing. All right, now you get to ask me one question.
How do you deal with my cousin Jason?
That's a good question. That's a super long story. I don't know if the Thrive Tribe wants to know about that, but
no, I'm kidding. I guess really I see that you're just such an advocate of just positiveness in life, and you're promoting such good all over, and you are a busy woman, and I want to know how you do it. What drives you to, be this positive force and, sharing it with others? I mean, what is the drive to make that happen? Sorry, I know it's a big question, but I'm really curious.
Well, coffee helps. That's how I get 2 cups in the morning. I think I have just, always been passionate about teaching. I never wanted to be a teacher. That I fell into that. But even as whatever job I had, I was always like teaching somebody something. And I feel like, okay, this is going to be weird. So I'm just going to go. So people have different strengths, and I'm probably not going to be a person that is super politically involved, even though I have strong political views. That I don't think that that's necessarily my gift. I don't think that necessarily I'm going to invent something that's going to change the world and make it better, because that's not my gift. Mm-hmm. I think my gift is inspiring people to look for the good and to try to make the world a better place. And so I feel like I have to do that. It's almost it's a weird drive, and it fills me. It's not just I'm not selfless in saying I'm just going to do this for the world, because don't get me wrong, it totally fills me. It fills my heart to be able to use my gifts and talents in a way that may make the world a little bit better in some, one person at a time or one corner of the world or whatever. So yeah, I think that's what drives me, is that sense of purpose. That's what I'm here to do.
That's amazing, because we need people like you, especially today. I mean, in this age, it's true. So that's awesome.
I thank you. Cool. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here, Lindsay. And we're going to put links to some of the stuff she talked about in the comments below. So be sure to check them out. Mm-hmm. And for the rest of you, we want to know your story. So please email me, message me, text me, say that you're willing to share your story, because we all learn from each other. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Peace out, everyone. Bye.
Bye.